Well, here we are at class number 3. It's hard to believe time has flown by, and I am wanted to end our class with a quote by Marzano, where he says, research and theory strongly suggest that teaching vocabulary is synonymous with teaching background knowledge. And for those of you who have been teaching many years and new teachers, you know that we talk about prior knowledge. The background knowledge our students have is so important for their understanding and comprehension. He continues to say the packets of information that constitute our background knowledge all have labels associated with them. People's knowledge of any topic is encapsulated in the terms they know that are relevant to the topic. The more terms a person knows about a given subject, the easier it is to understand and learn new information related to that subject. So I'm sure that as we are concluding our course and looking at our last class and the objectives, you would acknowledge that vocabulary is an important component of your reading instruction on a daily basis. So our last objectives, we're going to look at some best practices, look at some more research, summarize some of the findings we found, review concepts, some of the big ideas in vocabulary. We're going to look a little bit more, and you have some reading with Marzano's plan of vocabulary instruction. And think about your last project, which is going to be planning some intervention for a group of students or an individual student who is struggling in the area of reading. I love what Logan, Rupley, and Nicholas said, that vocabulary is the glue that holds stories, ideas, and content together, making comprehension accessible for children. That is so true and so important as we consider vocabulary in our class. So on one of the slides, you're going to be looking at some of those big names again. Some are older, like Thorndike, but Graves and Isabel Beck and Margaret McCohen and Stephen Stell, some of those have been around for a while, but some of those are newer names, and we're going to also be looking at Marzano and some other things in this last session. So, and then in conclusion, we're going to think about some of the things that we learned, talk about review about the Matthew effect, and look at some of those vocabulary tips from Marzano, look at his art and science of teaching vocabulary with better instruction in his little 6-step method. So we'll see how that goes and what you think about that. Some of the ideas I think are very valid and will be helpful in your classroom in teaching. And then lastly, as you conclude, there's that big reflection. What have you learned? What do you think you're going to take away from this course and utilize, implement in your classroom, in your instruction with your students? What is one of the best instructional strategies that you have to teach your students vocabulary, be it pre-K students or high school students? So thank you so much, and thank you for all your hard work. I know that you have been working hard, and have a great rest of the night. Thank you.